Now's the time to get your thread and your scissors, your snips, and a cozy chair, and we're going to get started with some stitches. As you're picking out your thread, you need to decide if you want your thread to disappear into the fabric or if you want it to stand out and be kind of an accent. So here are some examples of instances where the stitching stands out. Sometimes I coordinate it with the material that it's next to, and sometimes, like on the center seams here, I choose a neutral that blends with the background. I think for me today with you all, I want you to be able to see my stitches. So I am going to use this light pink with the green and blue fabrics. I found that having at least twice the length of your material is a good starting point for pulling out as much thread as you need. I mentioned earlier that I don't really like to knot off and start again if I can help it. I save that for the really, really long seams at the end of a project. But for something like this with the practice, I just pull out enough for twice the length that I'll be sewing. Actually, I suppose I could have used that white thread. I'll stick with the pink. After you thread your needle, you'll need to tie a knot in the end. And one of my favorite ways to do that is by making what I was taught was called the quilter's knot. So I'll demonstrate this twice. I'll do it in front of you like this, and then I will go to the overhead and demonstrate it there as well. I'm only using a single strand of thread as I make these stitches, and so I leave myself a little bit of a tail so that the end doesn't travel back through the needle and become, unthreaded. And I take the longer end and I place it between my index finger and the needle. So the end, I have the needle and my finger, the end goes between the needle and my finger, and then I'll wrap it around twice. Maybe 3 times, one more for extra good measure. And then I will slide the wrapped thread in between my thumb and forefinger, and I'm holding it just loosely enough so that the needle can pass through the top. And the thread continues to pass through my fingers that are holding that looped thread until I get to the bottom, where I squeeze with my hand, and I'm left with a nice knot very close to the end. To get started, I hold my material with the 1/2 inch fabric edge facing towards me and the 1/4 inch edge facing away. Because the 1/2 inch will eventually wrap around, I can slide my needle up through the 1/4 inch, and I can leave my knot right there. It'll be closed in later.